Greetings guys, welcome back. Man, a highly anticipated game that's going to be released on March the 20th. A lot of positive reviews, a lot of negative reviews. There's so much controversy regarding Assassin's Creed Shadows. So we're here to delve into it. You know, there's so much to talk about and the game's gonna be out in 4 days. So I said this is the perfect time to deliver this video, and we will see as a conclusion will this game deliver. But before we do so, if you do enjoy this video guys, subscribe, like, what you're waiting for. Let's delve into it, man. Let's go. Assassin's Creed Shadows has been stirring up a lot of controversy lately. A lot of it seems to be stemming from the choices of protagonists, such as the likes of Yasuke. I think that's how you pronounce his name. The African samurai alongside Naoe, a shinobi. Some fans feel Yasuke's inclusion isn't historically accurate for an Assassin's Creed game, while others argue that his real-life presence in Japan makes him a unique and valid character. There's also been backlash over Ubisoft's handling of the game marketing, some of the pre-order editions, and even concerns about the overall gameplay direction. A few players are worried that it's leading too heavily into RPG mechanics rather than the classic stealth-focused Assassin's Creed formula. Regarding the two main protagonists that are in the Assassin's Creed Shadow game, we're going to start off with Yasuke, who was a black samurai, an African samurai to be precise. You know, many people do not believe that he was an actual figure, whereas there is evidence to state that he was. A lot of historical documentation in terms of Japanese sources, it's not been strong enough, hence why the Japanese people do not believe he's a historical figure. Also, the idea of an African samurai who seems unbelievable, since, you know, samurai culture is deeply associated with Japan. You know, many people struggle to believe that, you know, a non-Japanese person, let alone an African, could have been a samurai. Also, the lack of representation in the Japanese media. You know, many do not know who Yasuke was. Yasuke, I think that's how you pronounce it. So I did a bit of research, and there is evidence to suggest that Yasuke was an African man who arrived in Japan in 1579. His origins are debated, with some suggesting he was from Mozambique. In 1581, he met a powerful man called Nobunaga, who was impressed by Yasuke's strength and granted him samurai status. Yasuke served Nobunaga until 1582, when Nobunaga was betrayed and killed in the Hanoji incident. Yasuke fought alongside him but was captured. Rather than being executed, he was handed over to the Jesuits, after which his fate remains unknown. The controversy around Naoe seemed to be more relaxing in comparison to Yasuke. I did try to do some research regarding, you know, backlash against Naoe, but there's not many at all. However, I did manage to bring up a source apparently about some art design, so we're going to delve into it a little quickly, so just give you a bit of an insight. With regards to the article, you can clearly see that Pure Arts are apologetic regarding the fault that they have made. This does not hinder the character of Naoe at all. As I said, I've been doing a lot of research in terms of the controversy around Naoe, and there's not really anything in comparison to Yasuke. However, I did do a bit of research regarding Naoe. She is a fictional character, and the reason why I'm saying that is because there's going to be more controversy around, you know, the historical figure of Yasuke, which has stated that he was a real person. But as I said, it's going to go forever with people disagreeing with his role as who he was. And also, Naoe is from Japan, which is good overall. And obviously, people are not going to have issues with this because the game is based in Japan, and they more want Japan people representing, you know, a game like Assassin's Creed, which is based in Japan, which is totally understandable. Let's not miss out the fact that Assassin's Creed has called out blatant racism in the community itself, which the game has received such backlash to the point where the CEO had to speak out. So there's a lot of information down here stating that the game has been heavily criticized, with the likes of Yasuke, you know, mocking Japanese people and etc. And more or less stating that he's not a historical figure. and not a true representation of Japanese people. However, a lot of people are saying that there is, with the likes of Naoe, who is a Japanese character, as we mentioned previously, and also fans are in agreement complaining about the toxic Shadows community. But let's get this straight. Not only is the community a toxic place in terms of the Shadows Assassin's Creed, many other communities are toxic and letting multiple games down. And I'm not saying that this isn't a fair point at all, of course not, but there's a way on how we must address things. Of course, we must do it in the correct manner in order for changes to happen. What I also believe as well, I do believe a lot of people will be playing the game and also trying to figure out more negative things and keep people posted. So this is another downfall of the Assassin's Creed Shadows by the looks of things, because a lot of people are just not happy overall. As when somebody is toxic, they really do want to, hate the game to the point where no matter if it's good, they are not going to give any sort of positive feedback towards the game. And I just feel like this is a big letdown, of course. So Assassin's Creed Shadows has been hit with a couple of delays. It was originally set for November the 15th, 2024, but Ubisoft pushed it back to February the 14th, 2025, saying that they needed more time to polish the game itself and to make sure it launches on Steam at the same time as everything else, such as the other platforms. In January 2025, they delayed it again to March the 20th, which is literally 4 days left, apparently to improve gameplay and tweak some things based on feedback. So in contrast, a lot of people do think that this is not the case in terms of the delays. They do believe that the delays are happening due to the fact that what's going on with the game, such as the controversy, which is what we are covering in this video. And this is a sticky one due to the fact that it is a Ubisoft game. Ubisoft have been heavily criticized recently due to the prices of their games, the microtransactions, the list goes on. So they're quite apprehensive in terms of, well, potentially apprehensive in terms of releasing their game. My overall thoughts, I do believe that this game will drive sales, of course. However, it will continue to have a representation of hatred. So what I mean by that is a lot of people like myself could enjoy the game and say to myself, yes, this game's really good, but still put out a negative review due to the fact that the historical stuff that's all going on with the game, which is pretty sad. Hence why there's communities being built with the community itself being stated as toxic. Once you're toxic, you don't have no love for anything at all. So that's my overall intake on the game itself. In all honesty, there is enough evidence to suggest that Yasuke was a real historic figure, even if some people disagree. However, there will always be speculation about whether his full story is entirely accurate. Ubisoft's handling of this has upset a lot of people and their true intentions remain unclear. That said, they're being responsive and are aware of the backlash the game is facing current. Regardless of their stance or how they truly feel about the situation, Assassin's Creed is still set to release on March the 20th. Only time will tell what the game will ultimately achieve.